So, welcome to the stream. Now, we are going to be looking at just a couple of prompts and the differences between Midjourney version 6 versus DALL-E 3. Now, in front of me is a particular prompt, and it's quite long-winded, as you can see, quite a lot to it. And how did we get here? Well, it came up with, first and foremost, it started with me having various different aspects included within it. So such as time period, genre, poster, subject, attire color, attire, subject, background, and scene, as you can see here. By the way, if you want to learn a more simplified version of how to do this, you can check out a link to a guide that I can link in the chat below, and that will tell you how you can go about doing that. So I'll be sure to, pin a comment after the fact, after the stream's ended. I can't seem to figure it out right now. But anyways, back to the video. So we are now going to try and do another type of prompt like this. So let's do this now. So a 1970s psychological thriller of a woman in a dress waiting in a dimly lit restaurant. In a dimly lit, empty restaurant. She is the wife of a mafia crime boss, shot on a let's do a modern day rendition again. So shot on a Sony FX3 with a shallow depth of field. Include themes of let's see, green and red throughout. So it's a bit random, but let's see how this fares. So I did this in Midjourney, and then that same prompt in DALL-E was completely different. And not only that, it added so many more details. So this is something called prompt coherence. So when we add in more details within the prompt, DALL-E 3 does an exceptional job of picking it up, unlike Midjourney, which doesn't necessarily do it. But in DALL-E 3, if you want to simplify your prompt, you just simply write something akin to, do not add any further details. Just use my prompt as I had originally written it to be. And then it will strip out all of the other stuff, and it will go and take it back to what I had written initially, which was just this. And I think it did a pretty good job. It's much more artistic, but it's not realistic, as Midjourney seems to be. Definitely. Midjourney seems to be a lot more realistic than DALL-E. Now, we're going to try the same thing, but with the new prompts that I had created, using this particular structure here. So a 1970s psychological thriller of a woman in a dress waiting in a dimly lit, empty restaurant. She's the wife of a mafia crime boss, shot on a Sony FX3 with a shallow depth of field, include themes of green and red throughout. Okay, so that's going to be the prompt that we try now in DALL-E. And let's see what comes back. And then meanwhile, we can try the same thing within here. And let's do an aspect ratio of 21:9. This isn't like a movie poster, as per se, but yeah, it should still look pretty epic, hopefully. Oh, okay. It can't do it. Maybe because I had like crime in there, the word crime, so it can't do it. Psychological thriller of a woman in a dress waiting in a dimly lit. She's a wife of a Sean. Include themes of a. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can have that detail in there, so I have to remove. Yeah, what I can say is somber mood. Ensure the image has a somber mood. And let's see what it comes back with. So this has happened now. A 1970 psychological thriller of a woman in a dress waiting in a dimly lit empty restaurant. She's the wife of a mafia crime boss. Shot on a Sony FX3 with a shallow depth of field. Include themes of green and red throughout. And I don't know why it's changed the aspect ratio there. I wanted to do a 21:9, but it just went with 7:3 instead. So that's that. But I think it's done a fairly good job there. I love using that word again and again. Fairly good job. But yeah, what's your favorite? Let me know. 1, 2, 3, or 4 on here. I think in terms of the shallow depth of field, the first one is, of course, second to none. It's done a really good job there. But yeah, interesting how, yeah, that one's definitely the most reflective of it, because she's like at least sitting down as well. The rest of them, she's like standing up. That's that. And then let's see what it does here. Much more different. It's much more vivid, the colours. That's for sure. Much more vivid. Almost cartoonish like. Yeah. Let me know what you think. What do you think? Yeah, it's quite interesting. Whereas this one was the same, cartoonish, but it captured it fairly well. And we're going to try different lighting types now as well. Because earlier on, if I go back to what I did yesterday, I tried a variety of different lighting types. So I did like street lighting, and I made that poster. And then I did this several times actually to get what I wanted. Then I did this, which was like a blue and green type of color scheme. And it's done a really good job of the shallow depth of field there. And it's picked up the, like, I guess the blurriness, if you will, of the feathers of the birds flocking. So that was really good. But yeah, let's try something with some fire and candles in it. These are the different types of lighting that you can get. Artificial lighting, fire and candles, ambient lighting. So we're going to see if we include these within our prompts, will they make a huge difference, and what the differences will be from a prompt coherence standpoint when we do that within DALL-E 3. Can it actually pick up all these different extra parts of light in there? So let's go into this now. So let's do a sci-fi film still, sci-fi cinematic still of an astronaut on Mars looking down at Earth in awe. Yeah. A sci-fi cinematic still of an astronaut on Mars looking down at Earth in awe. He is dressed in a neon astronaut suit. A neon striped, not neon stripped. A neon striped astronaut suit. Let's see what else. What other details can we see? Ambient lighting. Well, it's not ambient lighting, it's more natural lighting, isn't it? From the actual Earth's orbit itself. Light is coming from Earth and is reflecting gently on the astronaut, creating a soft glow. A sci-fi cinematic still of an astronaut on Mars looking at Earth in awe. He's dressed in a neon-stripped astronaut suit. Light is coming from Earth and is reflecting gently on the astronaut, creating a soft glow. Yeah, let's just go with that. So we're testing lighting in this particular example. Not necessarily other things like camera type, lenses, or any of that. So let's see what happens. I don't know what you'd classify as Earth's light into these categories here, like ambient lighting, artificial lighting. I'm not sure what that would be classified as particularly, but let's see anyway. create a prompt of do not include any extra details. So let's see what that happens there. And then back into Midjourney. While that is waiting, wow, okay, that came back quick. That's really interesting. So he's definitely got a glow on him, but it looks really artistic rather than actual real. Yeah, and that part looks real a little bit, but yeah, it looks much more. Yeah, I don't know what the word for it would be other than just artistic. Let's see in terms of the realism, how does it fare here when that happens? But yeah, what do you think so far of these? You know, for those of you who would be watching afterwards, I would like to know what you think of these particular images. That would be cool. And then this is what I did earlier here. So many different renditions of this particular prompt. So many different versions of it. Sometimes it gets it right, but then, of course, you have to keep experimenting again and again until you find something that works. I like that one. That was cool. That seems the most like realistic as well to me. Yeah, that was that. So let's see what's come back. Okay. So it's not too dissimilar to DALL-E 3. Of course, it looks a lot more realistic and it's got excellent shallow depth of field there. Yeah, that's quite interesting, isn't it? So this compared to that, it's done well in terms of picking up the detail of what the astronaut's wearing. So the neon striped astronaut suit. But in terms of the actual realism, they're not too far off on this example, I have to say. It's only here that it looks like cartoonish. Yeah, it's only here that it looks cartoonish. And there as well, quite a bit. But that's more of a poster, so it does have that kind of poster aesthetic to it. So I will give it that. But in terms of just actual images, of course, Midjourney comes out on top. It really does. So yeah, that's it today. It's been a bit of a short one today. I will, of course, leave actually as a pinned comment a link to the frame guide so you can create really long, lengthy prompts like this to get results like that, of course, down below in this live stream. Thanks for watching. I've been Vay. Until next time, peace.